Hey everyone, Nobody 2 stars Bob Odenkirk, who plays Hutch, a government assassin who's exceptionally good at getting into and out of tough scrapes. After literally burning millions of dollars in the first film as he reconnected with his past, Hutch now finds himself working double duty to pay back the debt his employers covered on his behalf. Burning the candle at both ends, Hutch is losing touch with his family, which pushes him to take a long overdue family vacation to Plummerville, to this theme park in the middle of nowhere. It's one of those do nothing towns, but it was a childhood highlight of his. So that's where he decides to take his family to build a new set of memories and get a much needed break. At first, the vacation is all excitement and nostalgia, but trouble finds Hutch quickly. Caught between the local cops and the gangster running the local underworld, Hutch and his family reconnect in a series of violent confrontations that drive home the family first plot of this film. This is the basic setup on the surface in which Hutch's family vacation clashes with his violent day job. And it's the execution of the script that makes this story really work. Nobody 2 is actually today's answer to National Lampoon's Vacation if John Wick was standing in for Clark Griswold. It's got all the action of the Wick universe and the comedy of National Lampoon, and the director Timo Tjahjanto does a great job of blending the two in this outrageous action adventure love story that works fantastically well as a standalone film, which means you don't need to see the first Nobody to enjoy this film. Like both Griswold and Wick, Hutch is a great character and he's really easy to underestimate. Bob Odenkirk makes him feel like a regular guy who is exceptional at what he does in every way, but it comes clear that he has a problem with his violent side, and that is causing trouble at home. That's a nice touch in rounding out Hutch's character and making the situation feel more relatable and more believable. As a result, even the wildest moments feel logical for him. In another movie, some of these situations would seem kind of ridiculous. Here, you buy into every single one because they make sense for Hutch, the people he's dealing with, and this crazy world that he lives in. Connie Nielsen plays Hutch's wife, Becca, and the two of them work really well together. She conveys the frustration and love she has for her husband in a way that feels like this really is one of those long term relationships that is starting to push the boundaries. But she also makes it really clear that she loves Hutch and she helps to make Hutch kind of a lovable character in his way because of how dedicated she is to him despite her frustration with him and his work schedule. Christopher Lloyd returns as Hutch's dad, David. It's been a while since we've seen Lloyd in a role like this. And you know what? He's just fun to watch. He brings that unpredictable energy to a character. And he's really this lovable father and a somewhat insane wild card who has forgotten more about paramilitary operations than most people know. There's a symbiotic relationship between him and Hutch, and we totally get why he wants to bring his dad along for this nostalgic trip. The villain, Lendina, is played by Sharon Stone and is absolutely wicked and believable in this role. She's essentially a rogue kingpin who's taken over this small town. She's vicious and she's unpredictable. And you know what? She's absolutely believable as someone who will do anything to keep control. She is off the charts crazy in a way that's magnetic to watch. And you really do believe she's capable of all the crazy things that she does on screen. It takes a while for Hutch to actually come face to face with her. But once he does, the stakes really kind of fall into place and the fireworks begin to happen. In some cases, literally. The supporting cast also does a great job with Gage Monroe and Paisley Catarath as Hutch's kids, RZA as Harry, Hutch's brother, and John Ortiz as Wyatt Martin, a corrupt operator tied to the theme park chaos. Sounds like a lot of people. And you know what? It is a lot of people. There are a lot of people in this film, and there are even more than what I'm naming here. But the movie all kind of makes it easy to follow along with the wider cast because of how it breaks down each part of the movie. The action is smaller in scale in Nobody 2 than in a movie like Mission Impossible, but it's literally more exciting and more interesting because every gag, every fight, and every payoff feels close up and personal. The action also feels like it could be real. The water park showdown is a standout climax for the film because it basically becomes the equivalent of a Home Alone style action sequence designed for adults. And all the setups and all the payoffs are organic to the story. And once things start moving, you can really feel the gears of inevitability fall into place as Hutch kind of hurtles into the big showdown. There are so many moments of, oh my God, that it really could have felt repetitive, except that the action never slows down long enough for you to catch your breath, unless it wants you to catch your breath. That kind of intentional writing and directing is a joy to see on screen. Some of the gags are breathtaking in how simple but effective they are, and the creativity in these fights make them just as much fun as any multi-million dollar large-scale stunt sequence. One thing this movie gets right is balancing violence with humor and small moments of family connections. Make no mistake, this is a very violent film. It's not overly gory, but the violence is consistent from start to finish. If you're uncomfortable with violence, this might not be the movie for you. At the same time, the comedy lands. The family dynamics feel real. And there are a few romantic beats that keep the movie from feeling like a one trick pony that brings out the same pony over and over and over again. It doesn't do that. It's the smart shifting of tone and pacing that really keep the energy up and gives the audience the breathing room it needs when it needs it. So, is Nobody 2 ticket worthy? I gotta say, yeah, absolutely. I would definitely see it again, actually. One of its biggest strengths is that it works as a standalone story so that the wider audience can enjoy it. You don't need to go see the first film to understand what's going on here. And that's something a lot of modern sequels have forgotten how to do. If you're into action films with a lead who feels grounded and relatable, you'll probably enjoy this film a lot. It's also a great choice for a night out with friends or even a date night, strangely enough, just to be mindful that it is not a good movie for young kids. In my theater, there was this woman who walked in and she had her little 5-year-old son. I mean, he was 5 if he was anything. He might have been younger. And that just didn't feel like a really good fit. I don't know what she was thinking. I can't imagine that he could follow the story or process some of those really violent scenes, but I'm sure they kind of affected him. So I would just say leave your little kids at home. Nobody 2 is straightforward. It's fun. And yeah, it's totally satisfying. It delivers believable action, solid characters, and enough surprises to keep the audience engaged. There were moments when the entire audience just collectively gasped or laughed together. And those moments, they are gold. That is the best part of seeing a film in a theater. Those communal, shared moments with 100 other people. That's a Hollywood win for Nobody 2. So that's enough from me. What did you think of Nobody 2? Did you see it? Are you planning to? Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Let's chat. And while you're here, please give this review a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with a friend who might be thinking of going to see Nobody 2. I've got a bunch of other reviews coming. In the meantime, why not check out one of these reviews? And happy viewing, everybody. I'll see y'all again soon. In the meantime, bye for now.